Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm JJ Summers and it's very nice to have you with me today. As you might have noticed, I did not upload a video this past Friday. It was just kind of a busier week and I didn't want to overwhelm myself, and so I just decided to just leave that day clean. I decided that it might not be consistent with the normal schedule, but I will upload something and it will still be good. So, hello. It's nice to see you guys again. Sorry for not being on time. I was trying to find ideas for what to do for this video, and I thought, I did the getting to know you video and it's actually been the most successful video so far, and I thought, why not do another one? So I have a list of questions that I am going to kind of go through. That way you guys can get a better sense about me and who I am. Also, if you guys ever have any ideas for videos that you might want to see, I would be happy to hear them because I'm always looking for new and fresh ideas for this. So hit me up if you ever have any ideas. So with that being said, let's get into the questions. So the first one is, do you prefer writing with black or blue pen? I kind of like blue pens better. This pen is like my favorite pen right now. It's like this bright blue. It's like a sky blue, and I really like writing with this pen. I guess a blue pen is what I prefer. Number 2, would you prefer to live in the country or in the city? Funny this question would come up because I'm literally in the middle of choosing moving to the country or staying in the city. So I think both places have their benefits. I think that the country is very peaceful and you rarely get caught up in the busyness of the town atmosphere or the city atmosphere. But like in places like Cottage Grove, even though Cottage Grove is not super like bustling and like it's no Portland, but like it's a city technically. I don't know, there's pros and cons to both. I like the city because shopping's closer, restaurants are closer, parks are closer, but like the country area, it's just very peaceful and you can really listen to like how peaceful it is. I'm speaking as if I was just like outside in the country and you like listen and there's no noise, just the birds and the wind. Yeah, so I mean, I've lived in like a city setting for the entirety of my life, so I don't know what living in the country is like. But honestly, me as a person, I feel like I would like to live in the country, but not so far into the country that I'm super far away from civilization, I guess. Not like civilization, like where the civilized people are. I just mean like where things are, like stores to get food or parks or whatever. I don't know. I'm just so used to having those near me that it would be kind of weird for me to live so far away from them. So if I could have like a happy medium of the two, then I would do that. Something you'll come to learn about me is that I have a hard time making decisions. Like I said, I'm literally torn between moving to the country or staying in the city right now. I have a very hard time evaluating pros and cons. So pray for me. Question number 3 is, if you could learn a new skill, what would it be? I want to learn how to play the drums. I wanted to learn how to play the drums for a long time. There's just something about the drums that seems so fun. But yeah, drums is definitely something I want to learn. Do you drink your tea or coffee with sugar? Typically, I don't drink tea with sugar. Every now and then I'll add a little honey to it. Coffee, I typically put like at least some kind of sweetener in it, whether it be like a coffee syrup or I have a little squeeze bottle of like liquid Splenda that I use. That tastes really good. But with tea, I typically don't, just because I like the pureness of the tea flavor. And every now and then I drink black coffee. Like right now, I'm drinking black coffee. Every now and then, like black coffee, just like I get a craving for it. It's just really good. What was your favorite book as a child? Good question. I really liked the Magic Treehouse books. Those were always like a good go-to for me. I read The Magician's Nephew when I was a kid. If you don't know what The Magician's Nephew is, it's the first book in the Chronicles of Narnia series. That's the only book of the series I've read thus far. Alright, so the next one is, do you prefer baths or showers? Ooh. Depending on the day. Like I said, can't make a decision to save my life. Some days I'm just overwhelmed and I really just want to take a nice relaxing bath, and then some days I'm just like, I just need a shower. So, you know, either or. If you could be a mythical creature, which one would you be? Either a unicorn or a mermaid. One of those. I can't make a decision at all. This is me. Here I am. I think if I had to choose, I'd probably be a unicorn. I like mermaids, but I'm kind of scared of like the deep ocean. I like the ocean. I just like, even the thought of like scuba diving scares the crap out of me. So yeah, probably unicorn if I had to choose. Do you prefer reading paper or electronic books? Paper. I will make that decision. There's so much more, I don't know. I just like holding a physical book. I don't know. I feel like you can just read anything on the internet and it's, you know, it's a normal part of life, but like reading a book, it seems like you'd want something off the internet. I get for some people why reading electronically would be more suitable for them, because you can adjust the font size, you can do like certain stuff on the book that couldn't do on a physical book. But me personally, I just like physical books a lot better. Do you like your name? Would you ever change it? I do like my name. It's literally translated to the word Ireland. Fun fact, my name means Ireland. I think it also, let me look this up real quick. I've looked it up many times before, but I don't remember because it's been a while. Erin is a Hiberno-English derivative of the Irish word that. It's the dative case of the Irish word for Ireland. Oh, it also means peace. Sick! That makes me happy. Meaning peace, Erin is also the poetic name for Ireland. I love that. My day is made. Who is a mentor to you? It's a good question. Probably the person that sticks out the most, however, is my friend Karen Graham. She's been basically my second mom since I was this big, and she's just always encouraging, always really positive, and she's just a good person to be around. She's just very in tune with God, and she's a very wise person, a very godly woman, and she's just so much fun to hang around. Yeah, love you, Karen. Would you ever want to be famous? If so, what for? I've wrestled with this question before. I think there's some things about being famous that would be cool, but honestly, the thought of like going to the store and being afraid if people are gonna see you or not, if you're gonna run into fans or not, that just sounds like a hard life. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of good things about it, but not being able to go anywhere without someone stopping you, it just seems kind of irritating, so probably not. Are you a restless sleeper? I do toss and turn a bit in my sleep. I don't know if I would call myself a restless sleeper, but I do toss and turn in my sleep. So I mean, if you count that as restless, then sure, I'm a restless sleeper. Do you consider yourself a romantic? Yes. Next question. What element best represents you? I think water or air. I always told myself that I would be a waterbender. There's something about water that I just really like. What is the strangest thing you've eaten? I mean, I would say sushi, but that's not really strange. It's just food. I mean, and it's also my favorite food. Another thing you just learned about me, sushi is my favorite food. I don't know. There was this one time where I tried a piece of sushi with like this. My friend Danny would be able to tell you what it is. I don't remember what it was, but it was like a ball of rice with something laid over top of it. And when I bit into it, it was really hard and crunchy, and I was like, that's the only sushi I've ever tried, and I hated it, which was like one out of a million different rolls you could try. So I was like, if that's the only one I hate, then I'm winning right now. What are you most thankful for? I think a place to live, because there was a time where my family and I lived in a church and we had to make appointments to go shower at somebody else's house all the time, and we had to go to the laundromat maybe once every 2 weeks. Like it was not the most pleasant of experiences. When you have a period of time where you live that way, it makes you grateful for the things that you didn't have in that time, which we didn't have a shower of our own, we didn't have laundry machines, and we slept in one room, all three of us. So yeah, I'm very grateful for laundry machines and a shower that I can take a shower whenever the heck I want, and a kitchen that's nearby. In the church that we were in at the time, our room was here, the kitchen was way over here. And so we had to like take a wagon full of like food and then take our dinner supplies all the way down to the kitchen and then cook dinner, bring it back down, and by the time it got back to our room it was cold and I'm very grateful for housing is what I'm trying to say. Next question. Do you like spicy food? I do. I come from a family that loves spicy food. It's just a part of who I am, I guess you could say. Have you ever met someone famous? Technically? One of the last churches I went to, we had this Christian rap artist play in the park next to our church, and it was like this big like town-wide event, and it was really cool. But I had the chance to meet him before the concert, and it was interesting. It was like one of those things where I was nervous, but I didn't want to make it seem like, oh my god, I love you. Like, it was, you know, he's a human being. So I was like, I tried to be cool, you know. But that's like the only person I've met. What is your star sign? Capricorn. Next question. How do you show someone you love them? Well, for me, this kind of goes back to the 5 love languages. And whichever your most prominent love language is, you tend to give love that way as well as receive it that way. So for me, my top love language, it's like a tie between quality time and physical touch. So for me, I just like to spend time with the people I love, and I'm a hugger. Most people don't know that about me because I know that not everyone is a hugger, and I have people in my circle that are not huggers. You know, they're nice enough to be like, oh, I'll hug you, you know, you're my friend. Like my friend Courtney. Courtney, I love you. She's not really a hugger, but she's willing to give me a hug because that's how I receive love the best, is just like, yeah, I would say just spending time with people, talking to them, listening to them, basically that kind of stuff. What are you afraid of? What a broad question. I'm afraid of a few things. If we're talking about material fears, like surface, like physical fears, I'm afraid of heights. I have a hard time climbing ladders, as my boss Andrew has learned. There was one time where he needed my help taking some wiring off of the lights in our sanctuary, and he asked me to climb the ladder, and it was kind of a bigger ladder. I have a hard time with ladders in general, but this one was a little higher. But yeah, heights is one of them. Arachnophobia, claustrophobia. In terms of like physical fears, I think that's it. But in terms of like deeper fears, I would say I'm afraid of being alone. I'm afraid of failure. For the most part, I think that's it. Do you like reading? What was the last thing you read? I do like reading. Sometimes it's hard for me to read because I have ADD tendencies, and so sometimes I have a hard time sitting still long enough for a book. Sometimes if the book is not attention grabbing enough, then I'll just get bored really easily. I do like reading though. The last thing I read, in general, the last thing I read was the Bible. But other than the Bible, I think the last thing I read, I think it was a book called 10 Dumb Things That Smart Christians Believe. I just read the first chapter. It was interesting, it was intriguing, and it was thought-provoking. I haven't read a lot of it yet. Like I said, I just read the first chapter so far. But I think that was the last thing that I read outside of the Bible. So let's see. What is your favorite scent? Probably lavender or vanilla or pumpkin. I really like those 3. How about you just put them all together? Yeah, lavender is probably one of my favoriteest. Vanilla is definitely up there with lavender. What is one thing you would want to teach your children? One thing I would want to teach my children is that it's okay to disagree with people, but what really matters is how you treat people. I've had some people in my family who believe certain things, believe certain opinions, and when you disagree with them, they take it as a personal attack, and so they just kind of write you off, you know. Bless their hearts. Yeah, I would probably teach my children that Jesus gave us all free will, and so we have the right to choose what way to go. And so, you know, you have your own opinions, you have your own feelings and beliefs, and that's okay. But what really matters is how you treat people, and it speaks to the kind of person you are when you treat people badly because they believe something different than you. Just because you feel strongly about your opinion doesn't make your opinion right necessarily. And so yeah, I would definitely teach my children that. First and foremost, above all else, love people no matter what, because that's what Jesus did. Ooh, if you had to have a tattoo, what would it be and where would you get it? The other day, I had an idea for a tattoo pop into my head. So I was listening to a Stephen Furtick sermon, and he was reading about kind of the intertwined stories of the woman with the issue of blood and Jairus, the synagogue leader whose daughter died, in Mark chapter 5. I was kind of reading it along with him as he was kind of reading through it and preaching on it. And in the Bible, the words that Jesus used to raise Jairus' daughter from the dead was Talitha Kum, which in Aramaic, that means little girl or woman, rise up or get up. And so I thought it would be so dope if I could get like Talitha right here and Kum right here, so that if I flexed, it would be like Talitha Kum, like woman rise up, you know what I mean? Also, it's just straight out of scripture, the words of Jesus, and it's meaningful to me, like rise up, you know? Just do a couple more. What is one thing you want to overcome / conquer? I would say my fear of being alone, definitely. You know, something that Jesus is working with me on is that it's okay to be alone, you know, because he's sufficient for me, you know. I'm trying to learn that and lean into that, and he's gonna love me more than any person or man would, you know. And so I'm just trying to lean into that, trying to cut off my codependent chain, just kind of leaning into his love for me and just realizing that it's okay if I'm alone. Like, if I ended up never getting married or being in a relationship in my life, that it would be okay, that Jesus is still enough, you know? So that's something I'm trying to overcome. Describe yourself using one word. Awkward. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. Those are some good questions. Some of them were a bit random, but you know, just fun little questions. So yeah, that was it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for that. I like doing that kind of stuff. It's just fun to answer random little questions. And if you guys have answers to these questions to help me get to know you better, I would love to hear your answers. So go ahead and put them down in the comments if you want to play along and do these questions as well. And again, like I said at the beginning of this, if you guys have any video ideas for things that you might want to see from me or whatever it may be, yeah, just leave it down in the comments. You can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is abstractpotato16, all lowercase. That's my Instagram, and of course I'm Erin Summerlin on Facebook. You can follow me there, and I'm also on Snapchat. I think that one's, I did a typo when I first made my Snapchat, so it's abstractpotat16. It's funny. I tried to fix it one time, but it wouldn't let me. But yeah, you can feel free to follow me in any of those places, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. See you guys.